What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, we're going to take this story tonight to Lamarck, Texas, which is right up the road from where I'm at in Houston. Shout out Lamarck. And it's about this dude right here. This human toad face looking dude is William Rudd. 28-year-old man. You'd think he'd have a lick of sense. Ladies and gentlemen, this guy who has back rent of 2 months and failed to show up at his eviction court date, took the law into his own hands and got mad, everybody else's fault but his, rode up on a bike while they were serving the eviction, throwing his stuff out, shot at a police officer and the landlord while he was on the bike, and then rode away on the bike. Take a look at the story. We'll come back and talk about it.
Bullets fly through a busy apartment complex, and police say the shooter was aiming for a deputy constable and a landlord.
Only on 13 tonight, the two men are showing us how serving an eviction notice suddenly turned dangerous. Our Pooja Lodia has the story from Lamarck on Rosalie Street near FM 1765 and Highway 3.
It really is incredible that nobody out here was hurt, especially when you stop to consider just how many people live out here and just how close so many of these units are. Now, according to that deputy constable, he had told the tenant that he was going to be here in the afternoon to serve an eviction notice. So that deputy constable and the landlord were right there at unit 15, so the second to last unit right up there. They say that the tenant then showed up on a bicycle here in the parking lot and started shooting. Today, the cleanup begins, clearing out personal belongings, including this gun, from an apartment whose tenant won't be back. Yesterday at this time, bullets whizzed through the air, flying past families.
It blew my mind, really, honestly. I felt like it could have went way better than it did. I don't know what state of mind that they were in. I just hope that they're getting the help that they need.
Thank God he didn't have clear line of sight to us. So we were on the second level, but then further away. I was scared, but I knew that the officer had like a vest, so I kind of ducked behind him. So I kind of lowered myself, and he was in front of me.
We're concealing the landlord's name because he worries the shooter will be back. He was here with Sergeant Danny Allen when they say the tenant fired 5 or 6 shots.
Kids everywhere, and my mother was in my truck right next to him. Yeah, I mean, he seemed to be very, emotional.
You have to sit back and think first, what is the aftermath in something like this? And I think at the time when the landlord was parked behind the individual that was shooting, if I would have fired back, his mother was too close proximity if I would engage the defendant, so I just chose not to at the time.
Lamarck police have identified the shooter as 28-year-old William Rudd. They say he rode off on his bike after firing his gun, but was found just a few minutes away with what they believe is the same gun. According to the landlord, Rudd hadn't paid rent in 2 months and had missed a court hearing about it. Residents here are shaken up, but relieved nobody was hurt.
You might have a person that's willing to do anything they can to keep a roof over their head, so it's pretty dangerous.
Reporting in Lamarck, Pooja Lodia, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.
Ladies and gentlemen, what you just witnessed was the ninja mindset. Got that house, got that apartment, ain't paid rent in 2 months. Didn't show up at the hearing for your eviction to make some type of arrangements, because a lot of times they'll work with you. But you got a gun in the house that you could have pawned and got rent money, helped the rent money. More than sure, you had fly sneaks, all kind of stuff in the crib. But you couldn't come up with the rent money, and all of a sudden, now you want to go and kill somebody. You so angry from decisions you made and didn't make with your money. You know what I'm saying? Poor decisions, the way you could have paid your rent in that raggedy ass, but that's a raggedy ass apartments too. No offense, but damn, I would not live in that shit. You couldn't pay your rent for that. Back rent for 2 months, dipping and dodging the landlord. Now all of a sudden you would have come up there at the end. Fuck y'all. Boom, 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 boom. Stupid as hell. Stupid. There are a lot of people out here, and we talk about it over and over and over and over and over again, and a lot of us have people like this in our family. They will buy what they want and beg for what they need. This is that type. And that is a true ninja mindset. How many of you people out there had people come up to you and you watch them spend a crazy amount of money on something where you like, damn, bro, you ain't even need that. Then the next week they asking you for something. Come on. Come on. That's embarrassing. At 28 years old, man, I mean, I can only relate to me at 28 years old in my mindset. I already knew the last thing I ever wanted to do was get thrown out of an apartment and have somebody throw my shit out there, just throw it out in front of everybody to see from neighbors that I spoke to before. And now I'm not there and they're throwing me out. That's embarrassing. And he realizes that. That's why he came back and did that little display of throwing a tantrum. And it makes him look worse. That's the thing, man. When men do stuff and they feel as though somebody slighted them or something, and they go and do something back to them that they feel is fair, you can't equate that up from what he did to living in that place. If that place meant so much to you that you'll take somebody's life for it, you would have paid your rent on time. Y'all agree or disagree? This is stupid stuff. You know what I'm saying? You riding around, a grown-ass man riding around on the bike. That right there make me think like, damn, where was you living at, fam? You riding around on a bike, watching them take your stuff out, getting madder and madder. All of a sudden, fuck that, I'm gonna let that thing go. You had an AR-style weapon in there. You could have sold that. That's the thing. People buy a whole bunch of stuff that's near and dear to them, but the basic necessities they ignore. Then when they're taken from them, all of a sudden, oh, hell no, I got to go all out. You know I couldn't pay no rent. Why y'all do me like that? Fuck that. Fuck that mentality is the reason why a lot of people are where they at. You know what I'm saying? See the lady in the pink? She liked talking, boy. She was talking up a storm. But either way, man, this is trifling behavior. And it says a lot about the boy that's in a lot of men. And it's messed up. And it's not just men, it's women too that do this type of stuff, not to the extreme of shooting places up that I've seen. But there are people that feel as though just because they live somewhere and they paid you rent one time, regardless of how late they are on the rent, you're supposed to sit there and wait for your money. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Owning real estate and all that stuff, that's one of the reasons why everybody like, oh, you can make money doing real estate. Yeah, that's if you have viable clients that live or tenants that live in your place, not pieces of shit like this that want to run all over you. You know what I'm saying? I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Ain't nothing he can say that make that right or make that Bible where a guy can say, you know what? I can't agree. I see why you did that. No excuse. See you in the next video. Take care.